So welcome to the run-through video for the full Ninja Skills competition. We've got a great course for you. It's 15 obstacles, 7 downstairs and 8 upstairs. I'm just going to go through some general observations and then we'll run through the course. It's going to be judged on time and points. You get a point for each obstacle that you complete. If you fail an obstacle, you can go on to the next obstacle without penalty. You just don't get a point for that one. So if somebody clears 6 of the 15 obstacles, they will get 6 points, and whatever their time is for completing those. 1 do-over will be allowed. So that means you can fail an obstacle and reattempt it right away. But you cannot come back and attempt an obstacle later on that you've passed on. So you must make that decision right away. These are basically the UNAA rules. There is one obstacle in particular, number 7, which is the transition from downstairs to upstairs. If you are unable to complete that, you do have an option of running through the reception, up the stairs, and up to obstacle number 8. We will be running 2 people at a time on the course, so that means we're going to have 2 judges, 2 timekeepers, and the way it will work is as soon as somebody transitions to upstairs, the downstairs person will start, but make sure you get the okay from your timekeeper. Upstairs has been done in such a way that you shouldn't be able to catch the person in front, or at least you won't cross over with the person in front. But please bear with us if we ask you to delay your start while somebody is struggling up ahead in front of you. The obstacles themselves we don't think are overly difficult, doing them one by one. When you put 15 of them together all in a row, it gets pretty tiring. We have thoroughly tested the course today, and if an old man like me can do some of the obstacles, then anybody should be able to do it, to be quite honest. We ease you into the course very gently, shall we say, with a couple of balance obstacles, and then we will start upstairs with a couple of balance obstacles as well, so you can get a breather. The time limit will be set without allowing for a tremendous amount of time for rests. I do encourage you to take a rest if you need to, but you're going to have to get a giddy up, as they say. Judges' decisions are final. Doesn't matter if you're wearing a black tutu. We are not going to allow any kind of dissent on the course. Ask you all to be very supportive, particularly of the new people for whom this is a first attempt at a course. It'd be great if you can support them. Spectators are welcome. Obviously we don't have a tremendous amount of viewing area, given that we're using most of the gym for the course. So we just ask the spectators if there is somebody who wants to see one of their family members or friends running, just to give them the room. But please bear in mind, don't get in the way of the timekeepers and the judges who are trying to keep everything above board. You must make a valid attempt at every obstacle. I've seen in some competitions some people just touch on an obstacle and say, that's my attempt. If you do that, you will be disqualified. You must make a valid attempt at any obstacle you try. If you do not make a valid attempt, you're out. Sorry to be such a stickler on that, but it can just come down to tactics at some point. If a late runner sees that that people haven't completed all of the obstacles, that they can then just skip the hard obstacles and do the easy ones and get a better time. We want to avoid that. Should we get more than one person complete the course, then there will be a climb off on the rope downstairs. And I think that's about it. Before I dive into showing you what all the obstacles are, if you have any specific questions about the obstacles, leave them in the comments below and I will monitor those and answer those. And don't worry, the judges will tell you if you have specific questions about obstacles. You can ask them at the start of your run when you're standing on the first round circle, and we will point out to you throughout the run what you can and cannot do. So our goal is not to disqualify you, it's to help you get through the course. So without further ado, let's get into it, and looking forward to having you all here for the competition. Right, obstacle number one, very straightforward, just to get you into the swing of the competition. You run along these platforms here, grab the rope that somebody will be holding for you, young Ben, one of my students, and you'll swing across to the mat. You're into the course and the competition is real. Here's obstacle 2 behind me. As you can see, it's a bunch of upturned red blobs, basically. Just run across them as fast as you can. There's pads on both sides. You can't touch the pads on the sides. So you've just got to get from the first pad to the last pad. My recommendation would be to do this with fast feet as quickly as you can, but you can actually balance on them. Obstacle number 3 is where all the fun starts, and there you see young Tage ready to go on this. This is the wind chimes, but it's the wind chimes with a little bit of modification. You will see that the chimes are hanging from the board with the hooks on, and you have to move the wind chimes along using every peg. You must use every single hook, sorry. Then you'll see there are 2 wind chimes at the end. You have to transfer to those, and then there is a red line there that you have to end up over. So it's as simple as that. You have to start with both hands on the first wind chime and then work your way through there. And so Tage insists on doing this one. I wanted to do it, but he said he really wants to do this one. So unfortunately, you're not going to get to see me doing it. So here you can see he's moving the chimes along the hooks one at a time, being careful to use every single hook. Make sure you get your feet across first, get a good grip. You can see he's actually taking his shoes off for this, so that's going to take him some time to put them back on afterwards. Moving all the way along to the very last hook. You can see he's hanging nicely above the ground. Right, so he's used all the hooks here. Now, all he's got to do is swing across to the 2 fixed chimes. Another big swing onto the last one, and then over the line. Well done. Right, so I just did a whole introduction for this one, then realized I wasn't filming. So here we have doorknob graspers. You can see young Tage here getting ready to go. The other climbing grips will be off the wall, so it'll be clear what you've got to do. You simply got to start with both hands on the jug, move through the doorknobs, and end up with both hands on the jug at the end, and then you drop down. So even though this is Tage's forte, I'm going to show you even an old man can do it. This old man. I can't reach!
I'm more of a... Nice.
I'm just like Tage. Yeah.
And if Steve can do it, you can do it.
Now you've got through the doorknobs, you're going to do the rope swing to trapeze. Sounds easy, right? Well, it's not. You've got to run with the rope, swing up to the trapeze, and then swing sideways to dismount onto the mat. And young Tage will demonstrate in a minute, and then I'll have a go.
There's no takes between these.
There's no.
I literally
this,
just did the wind chime.
Yeah, and the doorknobs, which we haven't filmed yet or put up.
That's true.
Right.
Okay, maybe there is takes between these.
Maybe he's doing a great job so far. He's 3 obstacles into it, and he's really tired already. Obstacle number 5. Rope swing up to the trapeze, jump off to the mat, which unfortunately is to the side. Let's go, Tage. How easy was that?
So easy.
Really?
Really?
Let's see if I can do this.
So you really want to get as far on that bar as you can. He's kind of in the middle. Get farther on the bar, Steve. Woo! That's a pass right there.
I did it! Alright, so if you've got this far, we have obstacle 6. A nice basic cliffhanger. That yellow volume right above my head will be out of your way. So all you got to do is start on the first one, 2 hands on the first one, climb up through the cliffhanger, and then finish with 2 hands on this last bigger block, and then just drop straight down.
We're off to a rocky start.
Ooh, that one moved.
Uh-oh. But he completes it. And
2 hands on.
2 hands on.
And then
Drop down.
God, I need a beer. So here we are at the transition to upstairs obstacle 7. As you can see, it's a pegboard. New pegboard, vertical pegboard. And it's quite tall when you're looking at it up there. So all you got to do is use the pegs, get up to the top. Once you do get up to the top, please drop the pegs down to the bottom for the next competitor. And then you'll climb over to start the upstairs portion of the competition. So young Tage is going to show us how this is done. So we start with both pegs in the marked square. After that, you're on your own. Let's go. So he's pulling himself up. We will allow the use of feet on this obstacle. Once you get to the top, you don't need to go to all the holes he's just showing off here. Just pull yourself over the top using the board and the ledge and gently drop the pegs down to the bottom. So you've dropped down from here. How do you get upstairs? Well, you have to run up the stairs. So you'll actually be running through the reception, through the throngs of supporters yelling for you, run up the stairs. There's one of my supporters yelling very bravely. Come past the throngs of people, over the pads, to the start of the next obstacle, which I will explain in a minute. So we're going to show you the next 2 obstacles back to back. 2 balance obstacles to let you get your breath back a little bit after you've conquered the pegboard. So run along the balance beam, swing on the ring, land on the block, and then go on to the new obstacle, the city blocks, which Tage will now demonstrate. I'm letting him do the easy ones. So you conquered the pegboard, you hop over the fence and get ready for some balance. Run along the balance beams, grab the ring onto the block, and then straight into the next obstacle, which we've called city blocks. You have to step on the top of each block over the skyscrapers without knocking them over. That will be a fail. Continue on to the last block and then up to the platform, beautifully demonstrated. So obstacles 10, 11 and 12 we're going to show you together because they flow and there's no rest between them. So 10 is going to be a 6-foot lâché, 11 going up the pegs to the cones, and I'll explain that. Then 12 is the wing nuts, except we're going in the opposite direction to the direction you've all been practicing on, so just to, you know, with you. All right, so starting from the block, first thing we have is the lâché. Let's go. All right, 6-foot lâché, then you're going to transfer directly to the pegs, work your way up the pegs. Of course, Tage has to show off how he does it. Then come to these 2 cones. You must have both hands on the cones, and then it must be a 2-handed release at the same time to the wing nut. So no reaching over, no getting your swing going using the cones. You've got to jump to a static position on the wing nut. Swing on the wing nut, jump to the pipe, then down the monkey bars. You must have both hands on the last monkey bar, and then swing and jump. And there's a red line that he just cleared with ease. Okay, we're on to number 13 now, another new obstacle. You'll see behind me 2 tires hanging from the rafters. You must grab on the underside of these, no grabbing on the top. So let's see how it goes. Trampoline mount to the first tire, remembering to grab underneath. Let's go, Tage. Transfer to the second tire, and then into the target box. Beautifully done. See? And then, right, so obstacle number 14, the cannonballs round the corner. You must use every cannonball, no skipping. All right, so you have to reach up to the high one next, then back down, and there's another high one. And then you must finish on the grip, the 2 grips on the blue board, and then backward mount straight behind you over the line. There you go. So backward release, good, over the line, well done. Right. The final obstacle. 2 giant rings, you have to turn them through half a revolution and swing onto the next ring and then swing over the line. Let's go. Now there is a fair amount of friction on these, so they're not easy to turn around. You've got to get a big swing. There you go. You can't start turning it until you're fully on that second ring. Good, turn it all the way around, climb up that side. You're nearly there. A couple more turns. He's nearly there. He's there. Right, so now it's just a question of dismounting. Got to get over this line. Can he do it? Can he complete the course? And he failed.
I got tangled up.